everyone, Miss GoElectric here. Now, no e-bike is absolutely perfect for everybody. 20% of buyers will buy something that is very specific to the use case they need, say something with really long range or really fast, or maybe even like a cargo bike style where they can bring a lot with them. But the remaining 80% of us want a bike that can do a little bit of everything, whether that's a decent price, decent range, something that is a comfortable riding position, and those are the type of e-bikes that I typically recommend for friends and family. This Ride1Up Turris definitely fits into that category. It has an upright riding position, it's relatively lightweight, and it has a really affordable price point of about $1,300. Now, I wouldn't dream of taking most bikes in this category off-road, but this bike has an hydraulic front fork that has 100 millimeters of travel. Usually we see something that is like a mechanical spring fork that has maybe 60 millimeters to 80 millimeters of travel. This also comes with full coverage fenders, and check out the tread on this tire. It's really designed to go off-road. Let's discover more about the Ride1Up Turris. The Ride1Up Turris is a Class 3 touring e-bike, which means you have access to both pedal assist modes and a thumb throttle, with the availability to reach a top speed of 28 miles per hour. The Turris has a 750 watt rear hub motor with 60 Newton meters of torque. The battery operates at 48 volts using LG cells with 12.8 amp hour capacity, which is equivalent to 614.4 watt hours. This battery is easily removable and can be charged on or off the bike. A 2 amp charger is included with your purchase that should deliver a full charge between 3 to 6 hours. Ride1Up says this combination can deliver a maximum range of 45 miles on pedal assist and up to 25 miles using the throttle only. The Turris comes in 2 frame styles. The step-over frame can fit riders between 5'6" and 6'4", whereas the step-through frame, like I have here, can accommodate riders between 5'1" and 6'2". Each frame is available in 3 color options. This bike is also IP65 rated for water resistance. The bike weighs 55 pounds and can support a maximum payload capacity of 300 pounds. These are Zoom hydraulic brakes with 180 millimeter rotors. The shifter and 7-speed Altus derailleur are made by Shimano. As mentioned before, the hydraulic front fork has 100 millimeters of travel, and these Kenda tires are 27.5 inch by 2.4 inches wide. The 60 Lux integrated headlight and fenders are standard. Ride1Up offers a great variety of accessories for a bike like this that is designed to go pretty much anywhere. One that especially caught my eye was this solar kit that will let you charge your bike on trips like when you're camping. Turris owners get a 1-year warranty period, and Ride1Up has some service locations scattered across the US for maintenance and repair needs. All right, those are the specs, but I learn the most when I get out and ride. So let's get to it. By the way, this is my Ex-Nito e-bike helmet, and the reason why I chose this is because it's designed for 28 mile per hour speeds. Most of my other e-bike helmets go up to 20 miles per hour. But if you want one of these, check out the link in the description below, and I have a discount code. Let's go. All right, so we're just getting started on this ride, and I want to pedal first in no pedal assist just to see really how heavy this feels when I'm riding it without any kind of help. And you can feel that it is a little bit of a heavier bike. It's 55 pounds, but this is doable. Right now I'm on the 4th gear. I'm on a flat surface. So this isn't bad, but I definitely wouldn't want to do this for long if I was to run out of battery or something like that. So let's start by moving into the pedal assist modes. It's not too much power that it's giving, it's very mild. Feels really nice. And I will say I really love the riding position of this because I'm sitting very upright. And a lot of times with this style of bike, since you're sitting upright, you don't necessarily need grips that are gonna help you with pressure on your palms because you're not really leaning forward. And so I think this is a really comfortable bike that they added these paddles on the ends of the grips. A little bit of work on the hill here, but not too bad. Shift downward actually.
See how it performs up this hill. To bump up. So really not giving me much assist. I just bumped up to the second level of pedal assist. Oh look, we got a family of turkeys. That's nice to see. I typically like a Shimano shifter, but I would have to say that this one is the entry level, and I'm not a big fan of this style. I typically like to have an index finger and thumb adjustment, and this one is a little bit more cumbersome. But once you get used to it, I'm sure it's fine. I think that it's kind of an eyesore as well. This bike is such a good looking bike, and unfortunately with this shifter mechanism kind of detracts from that. Also, the riding position is comfortable because these handlebars come back, so it allows me to not have to like reach too far out in front of me to get to those and be leaning forward. So I like this like butterfly style where they come back towards the rider. The saddle on this is also really comfortable. It's like a gel material, I believe, and it's nice and wide. So I could see this really being an ideal bike for a lot of reasons, because it can accommodate people who are commuting, but it also is like really comfortable to take on longer trips because of all these elements combined together. Performs pretty well on pavement so far. This is a 750 watt motor, and right now in the lower assist levels, I do feel like it's not giving me too much power, but let's continue to move up into the third pedal assist. Downhill a little bit. Does feel like a stable ride as well. It is a little bit wider of a tire, and that's also a nice thing about this bike, is that it really could do a lot of different things, because the tire is, you know, meant to not only allow you to commute on it, may not be as efficient, but also go on gravel and trails. Now, I probably wouldn't take this on too beefy of trails, just because I think fat tire bikes are a little bit more of a better fit for that. But, you know, light gravel paths or medium style trails, I would say, would be a good help. Now, this pedal assist in 3 is not really helping me all that much on this hill. I'm gonna bump up to pedal assist 4. We have a couple more hills coming up, so we'll see. Definitely quite a bit of power in this. I will say, this is kind of a noisy motor, and I find that a lot to be the case with the bigger 750 watt motors, is that they tend to be a little bit noisier, more power performance that you have available. Otherwise, the tread on the tire is pretty quiet, surprisingly, even though it is a little bit knobby. So really all the noise that you're hearing is just the motor. Good power in pedal assist 4. And this can go up to 28 miles per hour because it's a class 3. So, and I'm not even really doing a lot of work here, but I'm already at about 23 miles per hour. So we'll take it up one more notch here to pedal assist 5. Oh yeah, good push of power. Let's see how fast we can get it up to. There we go, 26. Yep, good boost of power with pedal assist 5. Feels pretty sturdy at that speed too. Good performance out of this bike. And nice braking, I will say. These are Zoom hydraulic brakes. So I like that they put these brand name components on here that are of high quality. It's a good braking feel, good riding position, good power. I'll say the lower pedal assists are probably good for someone who, you know, is just getting into an e-bike and doesn't want something that's gonna like lurch forward or take off. Obviously the pedal assist 5 is a lot of power. It's opening up access to that full 750 watts, but and actually probably more than that because it peaks higher. I think this is a bike that would be really good for kind of everyone. You don't really necessarily have to, in that case, when you're looking to buy a bike, decide what you're going to use it for, absolutely, unless you know are taking it to extremes, like a hunter who's going out into really remote places. I'll say you can take longer trips on this and it is comfortable for that, but I do think it is kind of a small battery for that application. I don't know, I might, if I was going to be taking on like touring or long trips, I would probably invest in buying a extra battery in that case, but I would really need to do a range test to see how efficient it really is. But just based off of the tires and power, you would really need to see how it performs efficiency wise. I just really like this upright position. It's so comfortable. Let's do a braking check. Comes to a stop real quick. I will say also that suspension, I don't have it in a lockout mode, but you can definitely tell it has a lot of travel, which is going to also help provide a really comfortable ride. Really, I mean, this is not only a good looking bike, but dang, this is comfortable. This is a step through design, but it has a secondary down tube, and the water bottle boss is like positioned where when you get on it, it kind of like blocks you. So I think that a different position for that would be helpful. I do like that it comes with fenders, because if you are going to be taking a bike like this on all different types of terrain and all like longer trips, and it maybe rained the night before or something like that, you definitely want to keep clean, and the fenders are really full coverage. So considering the performance, I think that this is such a great value. You can do so much, go so many places with a bike like this, with those gravel compatible tires, with this upright position, the suspension. I feel going over these bumps and everything like that, it is performing really well. And you know, having it like $1,200, $1,300, and I've seen it on sale for like $1,100, like that seems like such a great value to me. And the fact that it comes with such high quality brand name parts. I will say, going up these hills, I'm going to test this out with the throttle. It can zoom up them really easily, it seems. Ooh, let's see if I slow down. You can hear it working hard, but these are some pretty steep grades, and maybe the pedal assist, I wouldn't want to use it going up them unless I'm in the 5th mode, but I definitely would use the throttle to get up all these steep grades, and that should do the job. And it doesn't look like the throttle is tied to the pedal assist mode, so you don't have to worry about pressing an additional button in order to get up to speed fully. And this feels like it's pushing, push, push, push. This is definitely gonna be able to hit that top speed of 28 miles per hour. And I like that the throttle is like a smoother transition up to speed. So when you're up at these higher speeds, you can feel a little bit of a push, but generally speaking, when you're at a standstill, it's not jerky. All right, we are gonna do the throttle test now, and I like that they have a thumb throttle. That is my preference over a half twist. So let's give it a shot and see how it performs at a standstill. 3, 2, 1. Really quickly up to about 23 before I hit this hill. But off the line, it isn't like jumpy. It is a smooth enough but quick enough. It's a good balance of the two to get you up to speed but feeling safe while using that throttle. Well, hello. Lots of wildlife out here today. Now I want to try out from a standstill the first pedal assist mode, because I get a lot of people, if you're going to recommend this to somebody who is like of an older demographic, they want to know like off the line how it's going to perform when they just start to get going. And a lot of times I'll recommend to people maybe just feather the throttle to get yourself up and going if it is a struggle for you. But let's see how the first pedal assist mode will perform when we're at a standstill. Again, it's not too much power, but if you're in a lower gear, then that shouldn't be an issue. It is a pretty sensitive cadence sensor. I will say I'm pretty impressed by that. Generally speaking, I prefer a torque sensor, but I think that this isn't like as obvious that it is a super delayed cadence sensor. So I think that is nice that they've kind of calibrated it in a way, or maybe added more magnets so that it's not as delayed as a lot of other typical cadence sensors. And a lot of times, if you are riding for an extended period of time, some people like the fact that the cadence sensor does a lot of that work for them, especially in the higher pedal assist modes. Sounds like it cuts off the power pretty immediately, and it's like one rotation of the pedal, so it's maybe even less than that. So very impressive as far as how quick the cadence sensor responds. All right, I think it's time to head back and I'll share my final thoughts on the Ride1Up Turris. Now that I've spent some time riding on the Ride1Up Turris, let's talk about the improvements that I would like to see and the positive attributes that I think make this bike special, along with who this bike is for. The first improvement that I'd like to see is the battery. Other bikes in this segment have at least a 14 amp hour battery, and even then I think that's a little too small, and this one is 12.8 amp hours. There's also no ability to plug in a USB to use my phone on the handlebars. If this is a touring bike, I want my maps on there for longer trips, and I would need to be able to charge my phone. And I think a bonus would be that there would be a USB port on the battery itself. That way, if I am going for those long trips and I'm camping, I can take that battery out and charge devices. Now, Ride1Up is known for having high quality components, and for the most part you see here, that is the case. I'm not mad about the Altus derailleur. I think that's just fine, but I really dislike this Shimano entry-level shifter up here. Every time I see it, it makes me cringe. And I would probably personally go on Amazon or online somewhere and spend the $25 to get the shifter that I would like the index finger and thumb shifter, and replace it. And I know that is just a personal preference and an aesthetic thing, but it's such a shame because this is such a good looking bike, and I think this is an eyesore, and I'm looking at it every time I ride. Now, another thing that I'm looking at every time I ride is this cable management. And I'm glad that they did something, but this solution also detracts from the aesthetic and it looks a little cheap. So I wish that that would be improved, and I'm not sure exactly how they could do that, but I'd like to see a little bit better cable management. I like that Ride1Up included an integrated headlamp. It's nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. But I really wish that they would have put a rear integrated light on here. All the competitors have that with the bike, and just know that if you want a rear tail light, you're gonna have to buy one separately. Speaking of accessories, most of the competitors come with a rear rack, and if you're gonna use this bike as a touring bike, you'll probably wanna buy one of those separately. And what else you would wanna buy separately is probably a place to put your water bottle, maybe somewhere on your handlebars instead of right here on the water bottle boss. Because if you were to put a cage here, it really prevents you from getting on and off the bike easily, and that is really important for short riders. But at a normal price of $12.95 and on sale sometimes at $11.95, I can't really complain, because that has to be positive attribute number one. This is a really affordable bike with high quality components. And it's extremely comfortable. It has an upright riding position with these handlebars sweeping back towards the rider. And I think these grips, doesn't matter what price point you're at, these are some of the most comfortable grips, and so is the saddle. It's nice and wide and soft. Lots of bikes in this category and price range are comfortable, but very few of them are as capable. I expect the competitors to perform well on pavement or light gravel, but this is the only bike in that category that I would feel comfortable and confident going off-road and on more rooted trails. That's thanks to the hydraulic front fork that has 100 millimeters of travel paired with these really knobby tires that provide a lot of grip on those trails. And it looks good doing it too. Design is the last positive attribute I want to talk about. I really appreciate with this frame design that they've integrated the battery. It is such a sleek look, but it also has a really nice paint finish and color to it, along with these accent pieces that tactfully integrate the brand's name. I like that Ride1Up has this plaque that's on every single one of their bikes to make it feel like a trophy piece. And these gum wall tires really tie it together to give it a premium feel. Now, who is this bike for? Well, it's for that 80% that I talked about earlier. Someone that wants to be able to ride this throughout town. It's light enough to get it up on a bike rack and take it wherever they want to go, but then even take it off-road and onto the trails. And it's really affordable. If you want to learn more about the Ride1Up Turris, then see the link in the description below. Ride1Up might help support the Miss GoElectric channel if they find we're helping their customers find the right bike for them. Well, thank you so much for watching this latest review, and until next time, drive, fly, ride. Go electric.